So for those for whom it is available to stand, I'm going to invite you to do that. And for those for whom that is not available, keep your seat. But I'm going to ask that we take a minute and we take off our shoes and even our socks. Unless it's super cold where you are. And if you want to leave your socks on, then please do. So I'm going to stand as well. And Kat, if you would share our screen with the source sheet, please. Thank you. So please feel free to either look at these words or not as I sing. And I want to invite you, before I begin to sing, to feel your feet, feel your toes. And if you're on something that's cushy, like a rug, let your toes really sink in and let your feet open up into that texture. If you're on a floor, feel the floor underneath your toes, underneath the balls and the heels of your feet. Just really slip in to your relationship with your feet. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, everything, everyone, every place, every way, where you walk, where you stand, where you love and where you pray. All of life is holy ground, so walk on it. It's holy ground. Breathe it in, it's all around. Talk and breathe and feel and make a holy sound. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. And allow yourself to feel your connection with the holiness of the ground beneath you. Allow the stress of your day to just sink right down through your body, through your legs, and out through the bottoms of your feet. Through your shoulders and arms and out through the fingertips. A nice full breath. And let us take our seat or remain in our seat if we've been seated, keeping our attention on our feet and on the fact that we are on holy ground and our feet are sinking into that ground. So I ask Craig Taubman's forgiveness for changing some of the words of his exquisite melody. For those of you who know this melody, he says in his chorus, so walk as if it's holy ground, breathe as if it's all around. And I took a liberty, so I ask his forgiveness. Moving into today's Torah portion, this is a piece at the beginning of our parasha where Moses is talking to God at the burning bush. And the response of this encounter is a statement from God saying to Moshe, Sal na'alecha me'al raglecha, ki hamakom asher ata omed alav, admat kodesh hu. Remove your sandals from your feet. Because the place, and a capitalized place, because we understand makom, place, as one of the names for God. The place that you stand upon is holy. I changed it holy earth. Adamah, I like that word earth. So let's feel that just again as we have taken our place anew. This holy place in which, whether we're sitting or standing, we are still in relationship with that holy place. And as the encounter continues, God tells Moses to go free the Israelites. And Moses says, who should I tell him sent me? And the response is, Ehyeh asher ehyeh. Vayomer כה תאמר לבני ישראל, Ehyeh shalchani aleichem. So the response from God is to say, Ehyeh asher ehyeh. And then the Holy One continued saying, tell the children of Israel, Ehyeh sent me to you. Now, I really, really wrangle with this because Ehyeh is often translated, Ehyeh asher ehyeh is often translated as I am that I am. But Ehyeh is in the future tense. And I really struggle with this. So I did some research. And before we get to the actual grammar, which we will, the Eitz Chaim had some beautiful, beautiful things to say about this text. The phrase defies simple translation. I think that is a really great beginning. I am pure being. That is one way that we understand this. I am more than you can comprehend. And I think that that's something we understand or know or struggle with. And they add that Eric Fromm understands it as I, God, am in the process of becoming. Wow. Is that possible that spirit is in the process of becoming? And you, human beings fashioned in the image of God, are also in the process of becoming. Let's just let that in for a second. We might understand ourselves as being in the process of becoming. It may be a little more of a stretch to imagine that the holy essence of everything is in this process of becoming, or maybe that feels really organic to you. So just quickly, the grammar. The struggle is that there is no present tense of the word be in Hebrew. We have haya, which is very familiar to us. Hava is here first, become. Haya, become or be. But if we're saying to somebody, I'm hungry, we say, ani re'eva, or I'm tired, ani ayafa. I hungry, I tired. There's no word for am. And if we look down just a tiny bit, we see that ehyeh, we have the hey, the yud, and the hey, that little aleph at the beginning, which is actually the future for both of these verbs. And now if we take it down just a little bit more. Thanks, Kat. Oop, lost our scroll. Thank you. To the next page, if you would. Yeah, there we go. So underneath those renderings, I have Yud He Vav He, which is Adonai. We say it's Adonai. And we see again the Yud, the He, and the Vav and the He of both of those verbs. And then the word Havaya, which many of you have heard me use and some have asked about, see the shifting of those letters into He Vav Yud He, which is essentially presence, beingness. It's a way of taking that verb, hoveh, or haya, hava, haya, and turning it into the presence of the eternal. To which the Kedushat Levi responds, the righteous person who serves God must know every day that whenever they attain any degree of spiritual awareness, there's another level of awareness beyond this one that they don't yet know or understand. The degree of awareness now attained is still nowhere near complete understanding. And while that can be disappointing, the process is endless, which means that every time we deepen our understanding and deepen our connection to presence, there's always the opportunity for yet a deeper understanding. And perhaps that's what the Eitz Chaim meant when it said this is really difficult to understand. And maybe that's why this word that the Holy Presence gives to Moses, Ehiyah, is in the future and not in the present, because it's so challenging for us to understand right here, right now. And that is our practice, to deepen every moment our understanding of the Holy Presence. I invite us to soften our eyes or close them if that's comfortable. Feel your feet once again on that holy ground. Feel that holy presence that anchors you. That supports you. That breathes into you. And that as you breathe in and out, you remind yourself that you are completely interconnected with this holy presence, this holy level of being. Feel yourself in your belly. Deep under your belly button where the force of life is. Feel yourself in your solar plexus, in your ribs, in your diaphragm. Feel yourself in your heart. Soften around your shoulders, collarbones, throat. Feel the light in your throat. And the back of your jaw, the base of your tongue. Soften your eyebrows, your forehead, your lips and your tongue, teeth. Become aware of the crown of your head. See that interconnection between you and that which is so, so challenging to name. Invite it in. Ask it to hold you. Anywhere that you need holding. Notice what happens when you do that. Perhaps your breathing changes. Perhaps you feel a softening. Perhaps your emotions flow. Or your mind quiets. Let's take the next bit of time and allow this to continue to sink in. Deepening, ever deepening our connection with Ahia. Gently bring your attention back to your feet. If they need a reminder to connect to the holy ground underneath them, you can invite them to do that. Feel your appreciation for your knees and your hips, your legs, your thorax, from the hips all the way up to the shoulders, out through the arms, up through the neck and head. Feel your appreciation for the all that is, the Ahia, that continues to give us the opportunity to grow and deepen with spirit.
Thank you so much, Robin, for a beautiful practice today. And I neglected at the outset to thank Barbara Stock, who is sponsoring our practice today. A little embarrassing to say it's in my honor, but I appreciate so much Barbara's kind words and support for our work. And Barbara, also your incredible, really incredible dedication to this practice as a regular participant pretty much every day, helping to hold this space for others as well as for yourself. So thank you so much for your kind words and for supporting all of us through your sponsorship of today's practice. And we seal the practice as we do every day by offering an opportunity for those of you who are in mourning or observing a yard site to do so, or if it's your custom to participate in reciting Kaddish, to do so. If you're not reciting Kaddish, simply to stay present, offer your loving support for those who are invited as well, to put the name or names of those they're honoring today in the chat box now or after you recite Kaddish. And thanks to Kat Esposito, who as always is holding our space with skill and grace, who for putting the words of the Kaddish on the screen. If you're reciting Kaddish, I invite you to join me by rising in body or in spirit to recite the words together, and you can unmute at this time. Gadal, Alma, Divra, Chivite, Viarich, Malchute, Chayechon, Chaye, Dechol, Beit Yisrael, Agala, Bizman, Kariv,
Amen.
Shmei Rabba Mevarach,
Ishmei Rabba Mevarach,
V'yit Aleh, v'yit Halal, Shmei
Yitaleh, Yitalal,
Shirata,
Ula, Mikol,
Neshama,
Birchata,
Miran,
B'Shivata,
Kelma, V'Shmei,
B'Nechama,
Lama Rabba,
Ban Ba'alma,
Maya, V'Chei,
V'Kesh, Lama Rabba, Ya,
Shalom
Imalenu
Bimrama,
V'Yalko
Aseh
Yisrael,
Shalom,
Say
Baleinu,
shalom
Seh
Bimrama,
Shalom B'Mromav, Ya Seh
b'mromav.
Shalom,
Amen.
V'Yalko Yisrael, Kol Yoshvei Tevel,
Amen.
Amen.
Say shalom. Emru Amen.
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 Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. I want to thank our teacher for today, Rabbi Robin Damsky of Limitless Judaism. And also, of course, Barbara Stock for sponsoring our practice and Kat Esposito for holding our space. As always, you're invited to stay on for conversation with Robin about today's beautiful teaching and practice, or simply to share reflections on your experience in the chat box if you'd like, or just to stay with us and use this time and space as a container, as a mishkan, just to continue to sit together and be with us. And you're more than welcome to do that as well. until we conclude. So let me bring in Robin. If you do have a question for Robin, as always, please put it in the chat box and preface it with question in all caps. And I'll keep an eye out for that and try to include your question in the conversation as well. Thanks, Robin. What a great, I mean, this week's Torah portion is such a fantastic, it's just full of great material for teaching Jewish mindfulness practice at the burning bush. But I really appreciate your bringing our awareness to that sense of being on Admat Kodesh, on holy ground, and also integrating it with that name of God, Ehyeh, and really unpacking beautifully, what the heck does this mean, right? I want to share actually and throw out our colleague, Rabbi Jonathan Kliegler, as part of our Chevra, our clergy fellowship. And I think he might have been quoting Reb Zalman on this, but I'm not sure. Also kind of described the Yud He Vav He name of God, translating it as life unfolding, which is another way, I think kind of just another permutation. So here's a question. As somebody who knows, as a person who knows pretty much nothing about quantum physics or the Big Bang.
I'm not sure I do either, but we'll see.
Okay, all right. But I'm just going to throw in
My partner genre, but we'll try.
Like what you taught, for me, triggered an association with the little bit that I do know, which is an awareness of, your understanding and unpacking of Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh, I will be what I will be, whatever that means, and that life unfolding way of understanding God is, for me, a moment where I realize I am just part of becoming. The universe is constantly becoming. And that is my understanding of that limited understanding of quantum physics, is that that's literally true. The universe is becoming. I am part of that process. It is actually happening right now. And if I can pause, I can say, wow, I am part of the, this is an ongoing, the Big Bang was not a one-time thing. It's kind of is ongoing. And all the qualities that we impute to the divine that's behind or under or in that process, such as liberation, which is, the key, that I, not just I am a becoming, but I am a force for liberation and freedom, right? That is unstoppable, really, Moses. And so you go share that news, right? So I was wondering, what does that feel like for you? That's I'm sharing, I guess, what it feels like for me is like, wow, that is happening right now, And so what does it feel like for you to sit with that kind of sense of the combination of presence of the I'm on holy ground, and what does that mean? That it's that holy ground tunes me into this constant unfolding of life or becoming, of being.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, a topic that we could spend lots and lots of time on. I'm aware of two things. One is I learned at some point that the universe is constantly, literally expanding, like literally getting bigger. And my question when I first learned that a number of years ago was, well, if God is everything and the universe is getting bigger, then does that mean that God is getting bigger too? And if we look at just, simple texts, both with Abraham and Moses in their conversations with whatever Ehyeh is, Ehyeh changes Ehyeh's position on things, right? Changes its mind, as it were, which means that we have this very powerful impact, this possibility for very powerful impact on the unfolding of the cosmos. And so that's one piece over here. And then the other piece is the word possibility itself. So people who know me know that I always say I live in possibility. I believe in possibility. So I believe in the possibility for healing. I believe in the possibility for transformation. I believe in the possibility for us to love one another, even when everything points to the fact that that might not be showing up right now. So maybe that's what that is for me. Those two pieces simultaneously, is that there's something that's so big that I can't even fathom it. And at the same time, I'm consistently aware of possibility.
I love that. I love that possibility, which has so many different directions you can go in about hopefulness. And it goes to the content, really, of the Torah portion of a situation where it seems like there's cause for total despair and hopelessness. And that's really the message, right? Here's a question from Michael. One has to ultimately assume an ultimately benevolent cosmos source, which requires a choice between good and evil and requires faith that good will persist. No or not? What do you think about Michael's reflection?
So again, something that we could spend a lot of time on. And I my personal connection, and I want to just, step back for a second and say I've seen a lot of, not so nice things, and I've experienced them, and I'm not a perfect human. All of that having been said, I believe that light is working to enter all the time. And that we can block it out. I could put something in front of my eyes. This is what's here, and block out the light. From where I sit, it's not that there's darkness that I have to shine light into. It's that light is everywhere. Sometimes it's so bright that I want to shut myself off from a little bit of it. So for me, the recognition that light exists and that possibility exists is the shining of light into places that may appear to me to be less well lit. I don't know if that's an effective answer, but that's what's showing up right now.
Yeah, I really like that. And I guess I'm going to append to that also, as you were talking about light, which is also a metaphor which I'm really drawn to. This kind of quantum physics element of it kind of reminds me of, really, I'm thinking about energy. That's another thing that for me personally is helpful to think about this as, a flow of energy or a field of energy that I am part of, which doesn't distinguish between light and darkness. Like you put the, whatever, the tissue box or anything, could be a sheet of lead, right? Anything that blocks out the light. But the energy is still flowing, right?
That's right. That's right.
It actually can't stop the energy. That's the
and even if we put something dark over our eyes, the warmth, right? The warmth of that light still penetrates.
Yeah, love that. Love that. And thanks to Anna for putting. We're really riffing today. There's Anna put the "I Dwell in Possibility" by Emily Dickinson in there too, and thanks to Harris also. Actually, I didn't know about this Craig Taubman Holy Ground. When I saw that you're using a song, Holy Ground, I was thinking about this, Klezmatic's take on Woody Guthrie. I don't know if you know about this. It's on this. Oh no, it's an amazing.
I'm going to have to look for that.
Amazing, I would say, CD album by the Klezmatics. All Woody Guthrie songs or lyrics that they.
I see Harris.
And really, one of the best of those is Holy Ground, which is on there too. But I love the Craig Taubman too. And before we'll bring it out with another round.
Yeah, it's I put a link on the source sheet. So if you want to, keep the source sheet for yourselves and check it out. There's a YouTube where he's actually performing this live, and there are 4 dancers on the stage with him. And I'm not sure if I think they enhance the song or take away from it. And I'm not sure if I like the recorded version better than the live version. They're both really, there's some real beauty to the song. And there are a lot of words to it. I just chose the first little bit because our time is limited here.
Oh, wow. David,
I'm
These are
seeing
those-
Tish Levy, Rabbi Jeff Roth, one of my teachers, also translates he has being unfolding or being blossoming, which is also quite lovely.
Yeah. Tish is our birthday person today too, by the way. So happy
Oh,
birthday to
happy
you, Tish.
birthday.
For those who missed it, who's here pretty much every day also. I just want to draw attention to David Hannig's. David, I'm not sure if that, I'm wondering if that's one of your poems, because he is a poet who's often here. We are that burning bush, that bewildered thicket, the divine ignites with a fire that flares in our hearts. We fear we will be utterly consumed, but somehow remain intact, aflame. The depths of our inferno whispers our name. If we slow down, if we breathe in silence, we may hear the summons and whisper in response, Hineni, here I am. Wow.
David, that's stunning. And I want to just say that we
That's,
fear.
yeah, that's David's. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, David, beautiful. We fear we will be utterly consumed. And you know, what I'd like to respond to that is when I allow myself to be utterly consumed, I am reborn. It's that phoenix image. So if we can allow ourselves to be in that power, that fear, right? They can be both.
Mm-hmm.
To allow ourselves to be completely taken, we become anew. And maybe that's part of the future tense, right? The continual becoming, the
Right.
continual unfolding.
You know, the other thing that's making me think of, Robin, is, you know, that phrase, I think it's, I'm not sure if it's Rilke or Rumi, no feeling is final. Or which basically goes to the issue of, you know, another way of describing impermanence, which, you know, you just were talking about, right?
Right.
Nothing, it's everything. There's always possibility. Everything is always becoming. Nothing is really static. It may appear static, or we may fear that it's static, but
Sure.
it's always in motion. And how do we, and the paradox is that we become aware of that by becoming static and staying still, right? You know?
That's great.
You know, as long as we're in motion, we can forget that. But it's by stopping that we realize that it's never stopping. It's always going.
Duality. That's
Mhm.
great. I love that, Mark. I have to sit with that for a little bit.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes I think we fear that change, and so we move quickly. We fear that change, we move quickly, and when we do stop, we can remember that it's okay that things are changing. It's okay.
Yeah. This is why we're here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Robin. And thank you, David. David, by the way, does have a book of his poetry. So maybe, David, you could put, if you don't mind, it's really fabulous. I will attest to that.
That'd be great.
So I want to encourage him to put a link there. So Robin, maybe you take us out with another round from.
Sure.
Is that okay? I'm going to share
Yes.
I have it handy, so I'll put it up.
Sure. And as I said, it does have quite it has a beautiful set of lyrics. So please do check it out. It's worth the time. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, everything, everyone, every place, every way, where you walk, where you stand, where you love, where you pray. All of life is holy ground. So walk on it. It's holy ground. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. It's all around. Talk and make and breathe a holy sound. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. Breathe right in now, you're on holy ground.
Thank you again so much, Rabbi Robin Damsky. And
everybody. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. Thanks, Barbara. Thanks to Kat, and thanks to each and every one of you for helping to create this beautiful community of practice. We'll be led tomorrow by Rabbi Dr. Miran Neshama Weil, and Josh Fakelson will be hosting. So please enjoy. We hope to see you tomorrow or sometime soon. Everyone be well.